What is going on, everybody? It's the Franz, and we're here for NXT review for September 4th, 2019. There is 1 week left of pre-taped NXTs before we go live on the USA Network at 8 from 8 to 10 p.m. every single Wednesday, 2 weeks before AEW's champion show, which we do. I don't know what it is yet. The AEW Road to TNT was on YouTube, so by the time I'm done with this recording, I'll watch and see what the name is if they named it tonight. Now, tonight we had Bianca Belair versus Tanaya Conti. We had Breezango making their official Full Sail University in-ring debut. Kona Reeves versus the Velveteen Dream, and in the main event, Adam Cole, Bebe, takes on Jordan Myles, the winner of the Breakout Tournament, in what was a fantastically good match, predictable, and just something that I don't know why they rushed it so fast. The Breakout Tournament gave us 8 superstars who had not been seen on TV yet, had them go through matches, and the winner gets a championship shot. Now, they didn't say, oh, winner gets a championship shot, but they have to turn that championship shot in the next few weeks. I was hoping we would have had Jordan Myles have a couple matches, build up his character a little bit, tease the Velveteen Dream and Adam Cole and even the tag team champions that he has the contract, whichever one he wants to go for, and just tease all three, or at least like the Velveteen Dream and Adam Cole, and tease, and then we get into TakeOver and possibly get Velveteen Dream versus, or Adam Cole versus Jordan Myles. But they didn't do that. They just had him come out and give you a match against Adam Cole tonight, which you didn't have to read the spoilers. It was predictable. And unlike WWE, here's something. Adam Cole's a heel. Adam Cole, whether fans chant Adam Cole baby or anything else with him, they chant his name, whatever, Adam Cole is a quintessential heel. He is the heel through and through, but he wrestled this entire match good and won. Good, clean finish. Did not need the Undisputed Era, did not need to cheat, did not need to hold the ropes. He won this match clean. They put on a great match, and Jordan Myles is going to be there eventually, but for right now, Jordan Myles is not anywhere close to Adam Cole's league when it comes to polish and like refinement and being part of the being able to be a championship contender. Now, of course, the only reason that he didn't go for Velveteen Dream in this set of tapings or go for the tag team champions in this tapings because A, Velveteen Dream is still feuding with Roderick Strong, and B, the tag team championship match was the final thing they taped on this episode of NXT. As you can tell, just by the crowd reaction for the tag team title match last week and the NXT championship match this week, the crowd was night and day. It was like the crowd was dead silent almost for like not all the crowd, but majority of the crowd was like dead silent for the tag team title match last week. And this week they were just on fire and just not like was enjoying this entire match. Now, Breezango and Chase took on Chase Parker and Matt Martel. I believe that Matt Martel and Chase Parker are the Team 3.0. I think that was their name. Breezango, like the lights went out and you hear Breezango and you hear sirens, and I'm like, what is going on? I couldn't tell exactly what was said. It was like, I think it said Breezango or something. But the lights go off, you hear sirens, I'm like, what's going on? New theme music, new graphic, Breezango, they're wearing black and silver tights, ring attire. Just a new and improved Breezango, something that would not have seen on the main roster. So I approve what's going on with Breezango. Definitely, and any time you take a tag team and give them a theme, just a straight up theme, you don't mash two together. Even though Breeze and Tyler Breeze and Fandango's music, it meshed well together, better than what they're doing with Kairi Sane and Asuka on the main roster. I'm just saying. But definitely an improvement, and just shows that why NXT is better, because they know how to get things right. Beth Phoenix, I believe, mentioned that Chase Parker, or it was Mama now, let us know that Chase Parker and Matt Martel have been teaming together for like 15 years, have known each other since the 3rd grade. So these guys have known each other real well. Pretty good back and forth match here. Breezango ends up picking up the win with I don't know what the hell they called it. but the slingshot elbow drop combination for 1, 2, 3. Matt Martell and Chase Parker did get a good bit of offense in on Breezango, so it wasn't just a plain old squash. It was kind of predictable and kind of obvious that Breezango was going to win, but to see this team that I have not seen before, and I'm sure a bunch of other people have not seen before, get a little bit of time against Breezango is definitely good for that team. They will definitely probably be used in the future and be able to be built up later on. They are on the opposite side of the fence where they're going to be jobless for now, and about 6 months from now they might come back, have different names, have a tag team name, and be the next big tag team in NXT. So look out for Matt Martell and Chase Parker. They did have some flashes of looking like a good team. Just they're on the jobless side of the spectrum right now. And in 6 to 9 months, they will probably, like 6 to 9 months, maybe even a year from now, we will see these guys, possibly with new names, coming out and just being one of the best damn tag teams. Earlier today, Kathy Kelly was talking with Jordan Myles, who was walking to, they showed Keith Lee and Jordan Myles coming to the arena. He says he's a bit nervous, but when the bell rings, he'll be good. Lee just looks offended by the fact that he said that he's nervous, and is like, come on, shut up, fool, man. You've only been here a few months and you're already getting a title shot. You should have all the confidence in the world. Let's go. So, Keith Lee, I just feel like Keith Lee is like spiraling down into the part of he's not getting opportunities that he feels he should have been getting since day one. I feel like Keith Lee is going to eventually snap after a big loss, even though I think that could have been last week. But that didn't happen. But he's going to snap after a big loss or a loss to somebody. Maybe one of these guys who look like who's like on the jobless side of the spectrum gets a lucky win on Keith Lee, and then Keith Lee just comes just snaps and murders this guy in the middle of the ring, and becomes the big heel that I don't know if Keith Lee's ever been a heel in the independents before, but it just feels like they're going down that road with Keith Lee, is that he is going to snap. Outside, like they start bringing up the title card that coming up next we're going to have Kona Reeves versus the Velveteen Dream, and Nigel McGuinness is like, wait, whoa, what's going on? We go back to the backstage area, and Io Shirai is just beating Candice LeRae up. She's just beating her up with the candlestick. They see personnel trying to pull her off, and then we cut to a camera with Cameron Grimes, who's just yelling at himself. He said, I didn't win the breakout tournament. I wanted to win to get catapulted to the very top, but now that I'm at the bottom, I'll just have to work my way back up and do what I need to do to become champion. And I just don't want to be champion. I want to be the very best there is. And then he takes a top hat that he had and just puts it on his head. He just has goes with a big grunt and walks off. So first off, Io Shirai, Candice LeRae. Of course, that's not done yet. I don't know when we're going to see them again, but 2 weeks from now, Io Shirai is going to be in a match, and we'll get into that in a second. That I think that Candice LeRae, and it's going to be the first episode of NXT Live. I have a feeling that Candice LeRae is going to get involved with with what happens in that match, costing Io Shirai. And their feud is going to continue into War Games. Now, I wouldn't be against this because it is NXT if you found the right women to do it. But I could see Shayna Baszler and the Horsewomen versus, and Io Shirai, I guess you want to put it in that one too. Shayna Baszler, the Horsewomen, and Io Shirai versus Candice LeRae, Mia Yim, and 2 others in a first ever women's War Games match. I wouldn't put it past NXT, and honestly, I would be all for it for NXT because I know they would book that shit right compared to what WWE would do. North American Champion, Velveteen Dream versus Kona Reeves, non-title match. I don't know what they're doing with Kona Reeves. This guy has been in NXT, it feels like, forever. And every time he comes out, I swear, every time he comes out, he has something like new jewelry, or new sunglasses, or his hairstyle a little bit differently, or he's wearing a new jacket or a new shirt or something. It's just, it seems like they have him have a match. They're like, oh, that doesn't work. We're going to take you away. We're going to re-up you a little bit more, and we're going to have you go back out. This guy can't get his entire attire into the ring and his entrance attire and his ring attire to stay the same. It's always changing. He just doesn't seem to click at all. Nobody seems to nobody seems to get Kona Reeves. I don't get what they're doing with him. He's the finest. The finest at what? The finest at what? Kona Reeves just... When was the last time Kona Reeves actually won a match on NXT? I have no idea. They have like this whole pop and circumstance of Kona Reeves, and like he just lost to the Velveteen Dream tonight with a Dream Valley driver. Is he gonna? Will we see him with the NXT going to 2 hours? That's going to be more exposure for other guys from the Performance Center. I hope, but are we going to see Kona Reeves more often, or are we just gonna? It's gonna be another 6 months before we see him again. Because I swear the last time we saw him was like 6 months ago. Dream wins, Dream Valley driver, nothing much else about this match. Kona Reeves just isn't on the Dream's level. And the talking point is not about what happened with the match or what happened during the match, it's what happened after. Roderick Strong is on the big screen. He's like, dream, dream, dream. He asked Dream if he's ready, and he says, "You told me you wanted me to give you an experience you have never felt before. You wanted me to be ready to be a one-on. Like I wasn't ready for a one-on-one experience with you." He asked Dream, "Is he ready for a one-on-one experience with me? Are you ready for a one-on-one match? Because I am I'm ready, and I hope you're ready too." Like he said, I can't remember exactly what he said, but Myles is doing this. They slowly paired out, and Roderick Strong is standing. And you just see smoke coming up around him. You can definitely tell he's standing by a fire. Well, the camera pulls it back out enough, and the Velveteen Dream couch, the one that he's always on when he's in non-title match or he's not wrestling and wants to cut a promo, is on fire. Roderick Strong sets the Velveteen Dream's couch on fire. Dream is pissed. He tosses the championship down. He is beside himself. He's just like, you can just see in his mind, he's like, how could he do this? What the hell does he think he's doing? And it's going to lead to Velveteen Dream versus Roderick Strong, probably at War Games, which means I don't think we're going to see the Undisputed Era for the third year in a row in War Games, which would be fine. I don't think we need to have them in there again. Again, the way they have the horsewomen. If you wanted the horsewomen in like Io Shirai versus 4 babyface women, I could see a 4 women War Games match if you wanted to do that. So I'm all for that. NXT would book it right instead of the way they did it for like all the cage matches, like the women's Hell in a Cell with Charlotte Flair and Sasha Banks was absolutely atrocious. Last week, NXT Women's Champion Shayna Baszler came face to face with Rhea Ripley. They do have Rhea Ripley talk a little bit over this, just saying she was the first ever NXT UK Women's Champion, which is true. And they show clips from her time in the NXT UK and Mae Young Classic, and that she's ripped through everybody in her path of destruction. And it was announced for next week. We are going out with a bang, hopefully, on the taped versions of NXT. Rhea Ripley, Shayna Baszler, one-on-one. Non-title match, but one-on-one. My question is, because we do get an announcement later for a triple threat match on the debut episode of NXT on USA Network, and Rhea Ripley's not in that match. So why are you having Rhea Ripley come over from NXT UK if she's not going to factor into the championship match at War Games? Now, she might. I have no idea. But Rhea Ripley, as of right now, is not factoring into the War Games main event, women's match, championship match. Will she? More than likely. But it's going to have to be a wait and see, because things are all a-changing when it comes to NXT, starting with September 18th. Bianca Belair versus Taynara Conti. This match was Taynara Conti showing a lot more aggression than she usually does. Taynara Conti, a couple times ago that we saw her come out, started hopping to the ring and doing a Latino dance to the ring, getting a little personality in there. Now the bell rings and she's getting a lot more vicious. So Tanara Conti is trying to fine tune herself to have like charisma and some attitude out there. So that's a good thing. She goes the sunset flip by Dream. Oh wow, that's wrong match. Okay, yeah, I went up. My bad. Conti hits a bicycle kick, pin 2. Conti up the top rope, blocks in an armbar on the ropes. This ends up like she was. Now here's the thing: Conti, whatever, was all over Bianca Belair for like 85 to 90% of this match, and then Bianca Belair is like, I'm not losing this match, and just fires up towards the end. I swear, Bianca Belair was playing as babyface as I've ever seen her. She comes out, she's smiling like she's happy. She beats Tanara Conti with the KOD, 1, 2, 3. No heel tendencies in this match. After the match, they do replays. They come back, and you see Bianca Belair standing there, just dancing around, looking all happy and everything. Did they just quietly make Bianca Belair a full-time babyface? That's my question. But Tanara Conti loses to Bianca Belair with the KOD. Bianca Belair may be a babyface now. Maybe it was just because she was facing Tanara Conti. I have no idea. Conti looks like she's fine-tuning herself in the ring a little bit more. She did look a lot better in this match than the last match that you've seen her in. Next week as well, we will see Johnny Gargano address his future of NXT. With NXT going to USA Network in 2 weeks, I highly doubt that he's going anywhere. Johnny Gargano is going to be in NXT. You need this guy. You have 2 hours of television to fill a single week. That's about 90 minutes of content because of commercials. Gargano is going to be needed. The NXT, I hope, with the 2-hour format, is still going to find a way to make these guys feel special. We won't see Adam Cole, Velveteen Dream, Matt Riddle, Shayna Baszler every single week, Bianca Belair every single week, Candice LeRae every single week. I hope we still don't see them every single week, and it will be a little bit easier, I'm hoping. Enrico announces there will be a triple threat match in 2 weeks to determine the number 1 contender for the NXT Women's Championship, and it will be Mia Yim, Bianca Belair, and Io Shirai. Now, these backstage segments were probably recorded before the announcement and the announcement of NXT going to USA Network. So this match might not even actually happen. Or they may change it up. We don't know. If they don't, then we're going to have Io Shirai, Bianca Belair, and Mia Yim in a triple threat match in 2 weeks on that debut episode. And I'm telling you, if that match does happen, Candice LeRae will get involved to get revenge on Io Shirai, who attacked her tonight on NXT. Jordan Myles versus Adam Cole, NXT Championship. This match was as predictable for the finish as you could be, but Jordan Myles held his own against Adam Cole. The biggest problem that Jordan Myles, in my opinion, has is that the guy does not have a character. He doesn't have a gimmick. It's just, he comes out, he smiles, and that's it. And honestly, I don't want him, because right now he's feeling a little bit like Apollo Crews-ish. And the fact that Apollo Crews is a hell of a worker. Apollo Crews looked like $1 million when he was facing Kushida a couple weeks ago. Apollo Crews came up to the main roster, and everyone they were cracking jokes on him just being like, he's an athlete, he smiles too much. That was the big rib on him. He was getting picked on and picked at by them. So I don't know if that's if they're going to fine tune him. Honestly, and Don McGinnis asked this question when he was coming down to the ring. Do you think this is too much too soon for Jordan Myles? And my answer is yes, absolutely it was too much too soon. We don't know who he is. We don't have any definition of any character development of Jordan Myles. Honestly, Dexter Lumis would have made a much more suitable guy to take on Adam Cole if he would have won the breakout tournament, because just by his presence, the haunting stare and the haunting look and in Dexter Lumis's eyes as he walks down the ring and he comes into the ring, that would have been, and building him up would have been so much easier than Jordan Myles, who, outside of looking like a Rate the Censor member or a Reverend Devon's understudy when he handed the contract to Adam Cole, there really hasn't been any character development in Jordan Myles. He's just a guy who comes out, is very athletic, and smiles a lot. There's nothing else there. Who is Jordan Myles? I don't know yet. I don't think you know either. This was a good match, though. In between the ropes, Jordan Myles is absolutely going to be fantastic. He is going to be another. He's going to be another gem. If he's given the time, he will be another diamond that Triple H squeezes out of a lump of coal. He is great in the middle of the ring. I don't know what his promo skills are like because he hasn't had time to cut a promo on NXT television. I know they did have the face to face, like the words from them before their first match, but I don't really count that because that's just him talking and just giving out like his opinion. I want to see what it's like when he's going up against somebody and he has to cut a promo and has to rip into somebody because they're attacking, like because he wants their title or something else. That's another thing they could have did last week. This might have helped Jordan Myles if last week during NXT they would have had him sit down interview or something and giving us why he'll beat Adam Cole, why he thinks he can beat Adam Cole, and everything else. They didn't do that. They just they made the match 2 weeks ago, and they did nothing to build up your feeling that Jordan Myles is going to beat Adam Cole. Nothing. They did nothing. So that's why it just felt like this was an inevitable that Jordan Myles would lose. He did hit a 450, and Cole, but he rolls through. Adam Cole ends up hitting a super kick. He goes up for it again, goes for another 450. Cole gets his knees up. Cole goes for the last shot. Myles ducks it, but Myles takes a super kick, which was absolutely looking brutal. That first super kick before that next to last super kick at the end of the match, you just heard it and it sounded devastating. The second super kick to the back of the head, last shot, 1, 2, 3. Adam Cole retains over a very game Jordan Myles. Adam Cole made Jordan Myles look like $1 million fucking dollars, but you can just tell that Jordan Myles is not there yet. If it wasn't for the breakout tournament, if Jordan Myles would have gotten to this championship match any other way, we would have like, what the hell is this guy doing in this match? He has no business being in there with Adam Cole right now. The breakout tournament, in my opinion, I don't think it did its job. Breakout tournament, yeah, outside of Angel Garza, who was loved by everyone after match 1, and Dexter Lumis, nobody else really seemed to come out as a bigger name, feeling like a big star of any type, or a star at all. Like Jordan Myles, he got this championship match, nothing there. Joaquin Wilde didn't do anything for him. Bronson Reed, just nothing for him. Cameron Grimes tried to look like he's building himself up a little bit. I don't know what's with the top hat. The last person who had a top hat was Andrade Cien Almas, which that was a terrible gimmick for him. So, and Boa, I've only seen one time. The breakout tournament, in my opinion, was a letdown. Outside of Dexter Lumis, who was just after just his entrance, everyone was like, "I've got to see what this guy's going to do." And then he delivered a good match against Bronson Reed. The breakout tournament did not do as well as it probably should have. And in the end, I think that Jordan Myles going up against Adam Cole so soon afterwards was a waste of the entire breakout tournament. They didn't have to, in my opinion, if I would have did this, since I would have had that match scrubbed. The entire it's going to happen. I would have had the very first episode of NXT TV live on the WWE Network. I would have had Jordan Myles versus Adam Cole. That's what I would have did, because that match was fantastic. Imagine what happens if that match was live. Because I'm gonna have to be honest, a live crowd is always gonna feel better than a taped crowd. Even though NXT always brings it, tape crowds you can just that's why the breakout tournament, not the breakout, but the aftermath shows don't feel as lively as TakeOver itself, even though it's the same day. You can tell, when we get to a breakout, the aftermath show, that yes, it's before NXT and people are trying to save themselves, but if that stuff was live, then it would feel a lot better. We are 1 week away from NXT being taken off the network on Wednesdays, being put on the network at an hour and 45 minutes or something on Thursdays. If you want to watch it on Wednesdays, be my guest. But this will be the next to last episode on Wednesdays that I will be doing a review. After that, it will be on Thursdays when I watch it. Like, WWE made a massive mistake trying to counter program and beat and have a war, because Vince McMahon has to have a war with AEW when AEW is just trying to do their own thing. So yes, next week will be the same time as it is today, as it's around the same time today as it is today, but the week after that will be on Thursdays, as I'm going to condition myself by watching the next 2 weeks after the 18th, after next week on Thursdays. Hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like or dislike this video, find me on Twitter at twitch.tv/TheFranceClub. I'll see you guys Sunday for Unscripted, as we will talk about all the falling outs from Jericho losing and getting the AEW Championship, and a little bit of the bubbly, because everyone has to say a little bit of the bubbly. So then, I'll see you guys on Sunday for Unscripted. Until then, you guys have a good one.